What's up, YouTube? Wanted to show you this custom sheath that I made, inspired by other YouTube videos, mainly a how-to done by The Time to Hunt. So big shout out to them there on the help with the ideas on the design as well as the Paracord. I did a little differently than they did and used some ideas from some other videos, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Basically, I had some scrap leather that I picked up at a local shoe store because I was going to make some strops, and I've got all the leather cut that I need for the strops, and I wanted to go ahead and use the leftovers to attempt a sheath. So basically go over all the features here on the outside first. I guess on the front it looks pretty good. I'm real happy with the outcome of everything on the front. The back is definitely more sloppy, and you can tell that I am a complete amateur at working with leather. Now the the sheath is a fold over. It's one piece of leather folded over, and then I went with Gorilla Glue and glued through this area with the knife in the sheath in a plastic bag, and I stamped it down with clamps and wood, and this piece for the belt loop was straight at that point, and clamped it down real good. I also had it wet at that point, so that I could mold this area around the knife, which turned out real well, except for the fact that my clamps, I didn't think about putting something on them, so I used pieces of foam that I cut off on the second go round. But anyway, this was the first time I've done this, like I said, so I did get some clamp marks here as well as here. But I wanted to get, this knife has a guard on it, so I wanted to get the guard here above it and right below it as well to kind of create a pinch right there. And then I put a pin in this side, or a screw in this side for the belt loop as well as right here. Now what I did with the paracord was I started at the top up here, and I double stitched, and I had to skip one at the beginning to get this part, not to have to double over on this one, and to get this part coming through the back instead of the front, because this definitely looks a lot sloppier than the front side. So going all the way down through the bottom to here, and then another screw there. These happen to be spare screws that were in sheaths that I don't use, so I use those. They don't match on the back, but their colors match on the front, so that's good enough for me. Used paracord, wrapped through, cut a couple holes here and here, and lines. I initially had that hanging straight forward, and the way that the Time to Hunt did it, which was a belt loop that just ran, you could put your belt through here, through the middle piece of the leather, like so. I didn't leave quite enough for most of my belts. This would fit 1.5 inch belts, but not 2 inch belts. So I folded it over, made this hole bigger, put the pin in, holds it real well, and then I ran paracord through what would have been the belt loop. And again, this is other stuff that was just on other sheaths I'm not going to use. So got the little thing there, and put some Celtic button knots on the front there just to keep this thing from ever coming off the slider. And that's enough tension to really keep the knife in there real nicely, although it does have decent retention from the molding job. If you can hear that. So on the molding job, what I did for the finish was butcher's block finish that I have, which is mineral oil, carbonuba wax, and beeswax. And I knew that the oil would soften the leather, which was a little harder than it is now from doing the wet forming. But then I knew the wax might counteract that softening a little bit. So it's okay. It's still too soft though, and it keeps its form, but you can see there it's very pliable. So I think I'm going to do a hot wax job, another YouTube inspired, watching the how-tos on that. But just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm real happy with the way it turned out. Nice bushcraft style sheath. And again, the knife has pretty decent retention there. And then with this pushed forward, which is just another piece of leather, if you didn't see that, with another couple holes in it, and the zip, and there you go. And what I used, guys, was only stuff laying around the house, other than this leather, which I said I picked up at a shoe shop. I already had paracord, took these off other sheaths, and took all this stuff from my paracord, and then this from another sheath. And so basically all that stuff had laying around the house. I think the only thing you would need is the leather. The tool that I use to put holes through here is, believe it or not, the Swiss Army awl. I've got a Swiss Army skipper, which is a larger Swiss Army knife, but the awl is the same size as on the Victorinox Tinker, and most of the Victorinoxes have the awl. And with that awl, you can punch through the leather, twist, twist, twist both the sheath and the awl, and eventually you'll get a nice hole through there. Then I took a marlin spike, which is a point and then tapers out and gets thicker, so you can put that tip through there, and then it would widen out the sheath holes real nicely. And I was able to get the paracord through there. I did gut the paracord so that it would lay nice and flat, almost like leather lace, and I'm real happy with that. And I like the two-tone colors, and then I went with brown and black on there, which the black isn't showing up real good on those Celtic button knots. There you go. And then I took my wood burning kit, put it on real low heat, and put some little bullseyes on there. Just thought that would look cool. Had another small clamp down here, not as big as these. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. Hope you guys like it. Thanks a bunch. Please sub.